The NBA on Christmas has become one of the best traditions in the world of sports. December 25th always presents a plethora of games packed with big market teams and small market superstars on the hardwood. In the early 2010s, then jersey manufacturer Adidas had a bold idea: create a singular jersey for the league's biggest regular season game. The opportunity was destined to be a slam dunk for the company, but not even 5 years later the whole concept was scrapped, and Adidas would be out of the league completely. This is the story of the rise and fall of Christmas jerseys. For much of the NBA's history, Christmas Day was perceived more like a showcase for the league's alpha stars and championship contenders. From 1985 to 2007, December 25th mostly featured doubleheaders with a barrage of playoff rematches, all-world talent, all-world beef, and a whole lot of redundancy. During that 22-year span, the four most popular teams in the league were regular participants in the holiday matchups. In fact, only twice during that time frame did a Christmas Day matchup not feature any of the big market franchises. The league and its TV partners felt there were more presents under the tree being forgotten about. Beginning in 2008, the NBA created the quintuple header that's still in place today. 10 of the league's best teams squaring off for an all-day marathon of hoops. This year featured a deliberate effort by the league to create some more visually appealing holiday themes on court. Some of the new features included a snowflake league emblem on team jerseys, exemption on sneaker dress code, sparking a trend of iconic Christmas-themed kicks, and holiday fixtures in arenas. Heck, the Lakers even featured actual Christmas carolers before their finals rematch with the Celtics. The league was putting the theatrics on full throttle, bending the rules to create matchups featuring a contrast of green and red uniforms. The Mavericks and Trailblazers squared off in Portland, with the Mavs adorning their throwback greens against the Trailblazers' traditional reds. The following year, the Heat traveled to New York to face the Knicks in their St. Paddy's Day green uniforms. This one felt like more of a stretch, but hey, it did feature a nice complement of red and green. In 2010, the Knicks would sequel their St. Paddy's greens on Christmas, this time against the all-red Chicago Bulls. This would be the final installment of the league's red-on-green matchups, and following the 2011 lockout season, which saw opening night land on the 25th, the NBA and Adidas had plans for a bold new presentation next Christmas. By this point, the NBA's mass marketing plan was working. In 2011, the Bulls and Lakers faced off in front of an audience of 11 million viewers. For reference, the highest-rated Christmas matchup in 2024 between the Lakers and Warriors peaked at 7.7 million. League execs were searching for more ways to promote the holiday games at just the same time Adidas was looking to cash in on the extra exposure they were getting thanks to the uptick in viewership. And alas, the Christmas Day jerseys were born. The first installment of uniforms, dubbed Big Color, featured a monochromatic look with minimal coloring to contrast names and numbers. Then NBA Executive Vice President of Global Merchandising Sal LaRocca stated, "Big Color gives our players an enhanced look on the court and highlights one of the most visible dates during our season with a new and exciting range of products." The uniforms were part of the Adidas Winter Court collection that featured warm-up jackets and shooting shirts, just in time for the holiday shopping season. The Big Color received big complaints. A lack of contrast made it difficult to see players' numbers, as well as the glaringly bright colors combined for some less than ideal optics on the television screen. In year one of the Christmas jersey experience, Adidas aimed for a viral look while still keeping traditional silhouettes at bay, but the following year introduced one of the most controversial uniforms in league history.
Tune it up, KD.
That sounds good right there.
Don't mess this up. That's in there. Let's go.
tell me the camera was on.
The commercial promoting the 2013 Big Holiday uniforms has become so iconic over the years that we've almost forgotten the jerseys they were promoting. Almost. The year prior, Golden State made history becoming the first team in the modern era to rock sleeves on their uniforms. Uniforms that I will let you be the judge of because, well, yeah. Anyways, despite a shaky reception, Adidas went all in on the sleeves, and what better time to make a mass market debut than on Christmas Day? This year's threads doubled down on the monochromatic look from the previous year, with an improvement on the visibility of player numbers, even throwing in a number on the left sleeve for good measure. The true head turner is the massive hockey-style logo placed dead center on the front of each uniform. Resembling a heat-pressed steel plate, all Christmas Day unis featured the same silver-plated look, an interesting choice given the amount of color used to design each uniform. Reactions were brutal. The jersey debut was a disaster for Adidas and the NBA, but despite widespread backlash, the look became very prominent during the mid-2010s, much to the chagrin of players and spectators. I'll drop a more in-depth video on sleeve jerseys down the line, because this was really one of the wildest looks in pro sports. Anyways, on to 2014. Adidas used teams' traditional home and away uniforms as a canvas for the 2014 Christmas Day uniforms, with two slight alterations, of course. The first being a small logo placed on the center chest, a much more minimal look compared to the previous year. But the most notable feature was without a doubt the players' first names placed below their numbers on the back of their jersey. Yes, these actually exist. When researching this year's jerseys, it was hard to find the exact reasoning behind this move. By this point in time, I think Adidas was really just experimenting with anything and hoping something would stick. While rather unmemorable, this was the most team-branded version of Adidas holiday jerseys and faced less criticism compared to the sleeve jerseys, though I think most fans got a laugh out of the first names more than anything. After 3 years of experiments, Adidas would finally create the right look the following season. If you believe in Christmas miracles, this was the year for you. After 3 attempts, Adidas finally came up with a winning concept. Christmas-themed Christmas jerseys. I know, who would have thought these would have been a hit, right? The 2015 set used team's primary colors for the base with a heavy use of cream coloring, along with a Christmas-inspired font for team name and player numbers. Sometimes the best answer is the simplest one. 2016 saw a copy and paste rendition of the year prior, but sequels are usually underwhelming. For starters, Adidas returned with more monochromatic features, removing noticeable details on the shorts and waistband. Cream elements were also removed in favor of team colors for numbering. The oddity of these uniforms is the split between team names and cities. The Lakers, Knicks, Bulls, and Celtics uniforms all displayed their city of origin, while everyone else displayed their team name. This could just be a coincidence, but watching the LA Clippers square off against Los Angeles was rather humorous. At least the NBA is transparent with their bias. 2016 marked the end of the Christmas Day jersey era, as it was the final year of Adidas' contract with the NBA. Adidas passed on trying to negotiate a new deal with the league, admitting that their 11-year run of being the on-court manufacturer for the NBA wasn't as lucrative as they'd hoped. Nike would ultimately take over the reins in 2017, ushering in an unprecedented era for uniforms across the association. The swoosh never had any intentions of continuing a concept developed by a rival company, even though the brand's biggest ambassador voiced his thoughts on the matter last Christmas. So who knows, maybe someday we'll see a return. The legacy of Christmas Day uniforms varies depending on who you ask. Were there some misses? Absolutely. But the jerseys played a role as part of a league-wide initiative to make Christmas Day as festive as possible. It's clear the league has shifted focus to other endeavors over the last decade. That's not to say the league doesn't care about Christmas Day, as we still get treated to top-tier matchups on an annual basis. But times have changed.